Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I want to do something different. Usually I'm flaming your gameplay. Today, I'm going to flame my own gameplay. I'm just going to watch this CM game I played live. I did win this game. I thought I had a good game. But the reality of Dota is no matter how well you think you play, you made a lot of mistakes. And that's why it's a great game. Like literally, that is why it's a great game. So without further ado, let's get into it. And yeah, smash the like button and subscribe. By the way, guys, if you want to become absolutely broken, well, what you need to do is sign up to the GameLeap website down below right now. The reason why you should do that is because every single day we post a new video there. Content that you simply just will never get on YouTube, we post every single day to the website. It's really top tier stuff. I'm very proud of what I make over there. We also have other creators, many of my great friends who are top tier Dota players, creating guides about different heroes, different roles, different items, skill builds, talent builds, everything you need to know to get to the next rank. So if you feel a little bit lost, you're a little bit stuck, click the link down below. I'll see you guys there. And now let's get into the video. Okay, so in the laning stage, I was against Pudge Snap. This is definitely a good lane for CM Slark. So I knew immediately, like going into this lane, and this is something I'll give myself credit for, something you guys should implement into your game. I bought like instantly 2 clarities. I have a mango, and I ended up shipping out like 8 mangoes during this laning stage. And that might seem like overkill. It's like, oh my god, Speed, like what are you doing? You're killing your net worth. I identified that I can give Slark the best game like of his life if I just literally spam my nukes, because Pudge doesn't sustain well, Snap doesn't sustain well. Both of those heroes can't trade into Essence Shift. So I just wanted to hit level 2 and then spam my nukes. But all right, let's get into the really minute details of the laning stage. So I didn't want to play this lane too far up at level 1. Pudge is actually like a good hero at level 1, kind of. What I mean by that is if he does get a good hook next to his position 3, you're going to take like 3/4 of your health. Especially at CM, you might just straight up die. So I had to be a little bit careful about a hook here. Just kind of wandering through the lane. I couldn't step up too far. Slark gets nuked here. I think this nuke is fine, right? Just a 2-man Q, pretty value. I was a little bit afraid of using my Q like that because then I can't use to secure the range, which actually almost ended up coming into play. But I think that was fine. These autos were okay. The reason why these autos were fine was I knew Snap wasn't paying attention to me, and Pudge didn't have hook for a while, so I did want to play up. Especially here, Pudge had no hook, so I was like, okay, I can actually trade autos with him. If he has hook, I can't actually trade autos with him too well. After that, I go for a salve. This was fine. One thing I do wrong, like, I don't know how I keep doing this, guys, but this is something I need to fix and everyone needs to fix. Like, I just forgot to block the large cam. Like, I don't know how, but I just straight up forgot to block it. I realized here, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And then another bit of a mistake here. I kind of talked about how early on, like, I'm like, we can just dominate this lane, right? Pudge just doesn't do, like, as long as Slark is at a reasonable HP, Pudge is just not good against him, right? And so, also because CM is one of the best level 1 and level 2 heroes in the game. She's quite strong, especially level 2. CM is like the best level 2 hero in the game. It's insane how good CM is. So one thing I'd like to say here is like I walk over to here. So I walk to the right here. And I think this is me just kind of like, it's basically me like wallowing in my mistakes almost. Because I knew for a fact, like right here, I'm like, okay, I forgot to block the large camp. But like stupidly, I go to it anyway. It's like, why? Why would I even do that? I also wasn't pulling. Like I didn't need to pull because the lane was fine. And so I either need to do 2 things here, just commit to the pull for my own XP or lane, right? Like there's literally no reason for me to be here right now. And this is the type of thing, in my opinion, that could get me from like 8K to 9K, like especially as a support player, or for you as like a 2K to 3K. It's about like seeing every single opportunity you missed and being like, could I have been there? And like right here, I don't know why Snap was so far up, but if I'm here right now with a Q, this is easily like 2/3 of her HP gone. And it ended up being about that without me. So in fact, she would have just died. So yeah, a bit of a positioning mistake. Like not thinking about the fact that, hey, this lane is incredibly good right now. Like we are just really strong. And yeah, okay, this nuke was just bad. This was just a bad nuke. I don't know why. Well, I know why I nuked. It was a 2-man nuke. Okay, this guy was salving, to be fair. Was the salve about to be over? Did I just waste it? How much time was left? Okay, about a 4th left. I would say that's okay. We ended up losing a range creep for it, so it's like a little bit questionable on that end, but I mean, for like about 100 HP, that makes it like a 200 damage nuke. I'd say that's fine. Next up here, I would say this is good. I would say this was good. This is where I was paying a lot more attention to my Slark. He pinged me to be a lot more aggressive. So, you know, shout out to him. I also pinged for him to go in here, so, you know, a bit of a dual synergy. Always a sign of high MMR players, guys. Like, just being able to synergize with little communication or even no communication. After that, I think I wanted to go for a pull. I ended up, yeah, so I W'd that. I think this was fine. I was trying to kill off this camp so I could block it. So I think that was okay. After that, I believe I go for a pull. No, okay, I just play up. Yeah, they were playing up way too far. So this was once again actually good. Good play by me on this part. And the reason why I say that is because I had the option to pull here. Like the wave is like relatively far up. It's not that far up, but it's relatively far up. So I could have pulled it back here. But I think I quickly identified that like, hey, these guys are like pretty just like up. You know what I mean? This guy's also a little bit below full HP. So if we get on top of him, he's just straight up dead because of how good CM is. So I lead in with the nuke. I hold on the frostbite. Frostbite a little bit late when the nuke slow is ending, right? So I wait because it's 4.5 seconds of slow. So I don't want to instantly frostbite. I want to get the value out of the Crystal Nova slow. So I get the value out of that and then I frostbite and it's a very easy kill. So that was super good again. I think we ended up killing Pudge as well. Yeah, got Pudge as well. And then instantly look what I buy. Good, this is good. Only thing is, could I have stacked small camp here? Okay, if I was a little bit faster, I think I could have stacked small. Yeah, because Slark was a little bit low, so I should have just tried to stack small there. Had a bit of a gap. Anytime you guys get kills, generally the thing I recommend anytime you get a kill is to think of two things, pull or stack. And the reason for that is usually when you get kills, you're going to be a little bit low, and so you want to take a bit of time to reset, regen, and then go again. That's not always the case. Sometimes you'll just have salves and clarities and mangoes and you'll be fine. Okay, I could have went a bit earlier there. Bit of a mistake here. This is a situation where I could frostbite right away to guarantee the pounce. Like this guy is so wildly out of position. You know what I mean? Like we're just strong against him right now. So I should nuke right here. I should trust that Slark's gonna go in, especially at this level. And it kind of made him have to go for a bit of a YOLO pounce. Ended up hitting the pounce, which was good, but yeah. Just kind of slow there. I should have known that, hey, this Snapfire is really far up. We are stupid strong. I just need to go in. Stack, I think this is fine. Here, after I stack, I should be moving my camera to the lane. I don't know why I'm not moving my camera to the lane. I should be looking at Snapfire's HP and mana to determine what I want to do. On top of that, this is like, I need to be a little bit more sneaky about my wraps. So after the stack, what I should do is I should move through to here. I should move through to here and consider going in. If I think Slark can go in, of course. I need to look at Slark's HP. Okay, hitting Pudge a little bit risky hitting Pudge here. I think I thought like if I get hooked, we'll just turn. But play back. I think looking to pull here is just totally fine. Reason being is if you can pull with the stacked camp, it's basically always good. Like I denied a full wave. There's no understating how value it is to get off a stack pull. Then I go for a deep ward. Reason why I went for a deep ward here is I just want to try to kill this guy. Then I prevent the pull. Want to keep the lane up on this guy. So that was big. Even though that could have exposed my ward, I actually tried to do it in a way that would not expose the ward. And now I just wanted to wait for this guy to step up. Like I was just waiting for this guy to step up, which I think is like generally correct. The only thing is I should try to give Slark solo XP. Yeah, I cast my nukes just because I was full mana and I'm CM. I want to cast my nukes. I decided to jungle a little bit here. Reason being is I thought Snap wasn't going to step up at all. Turns out she did actually step up. She even had a ward. Okay, that makes sense. This whole lane, I was like, she kept reacting well to me, and I was like, why? She had a ward. Should have known. Okay. Bit of a mistake there. Once again, got off another stack pull, denied an entire full wave again. So the lane's going super well right now. Look at the net worths, right? I mean, this Snapfire is beyond poor. Like, she is beyond poor. So I would say incredibly good start. And now Slark level 6, and I just want to play up with him as much as I can. I'm actually surprised he didn't commit there, but yeah, I was just looking for any opportunity to go. I think I eventually, yeah, there we go. I eventually realized that, hey, these guys are, if people are perfectly reacting to every movement you make, like they're backing every time you step up, you should probably assume there's a ward. So I eventually figured that out. It took me a little bit longer than I think I would like, but I figured it out eventually. Okay, here I was kind of playing like a psycho. I think this is where like I needed to get up some vision on the other portions of the map. This ward ended up actually being good, this deep ward, but like I kept playing top here, which I don't hate. Here I feel like Slark was just not paying attention, unfortunately. He definitely was not paying attention there. We easily could have killed Snap. But what I'll say is like I didn't get up any mid vision and I kept buying the wards. I will say that one thing I think is a weakness of my teammates or like players in general, as players, like people just don't buy wards. It's like if they're not 5, they just don't buy wards. I don't know why. It's like, why would they rely on me doing it? Even sentries for that matter. Like if you're a mid laner and you think they have a ward, just buy the sentry. it gives you 3x the gold if you're right, and you lose 50 if you're wrong. Like, I think it's worth it. But okay, I ended up dying. A little bit of an overextension. What do I do next? I can't remember. Do I TP top? I don't think so. Because like here, the fight top was over, so I didn't want to TP top. So I ended up TPing mid. I think it was to get down vision. Yeah, so I got down some vision, got a D ward. Pretty good. Okay, I should have farmed the lane here, not this small camp. This was, I guess farming the small camp kept me off the map. I think that was my idea there. I didn't want to show on mid wave in case I got ganked. So I think that was okay. Pop the tome. I think I was going to go for stacks here. I didn't stack the ancients because I didn't think we could kill them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Slark just like doesn't even like if there's an ancient stack. I guess Storm can kill them nowadays. But here, at this point in the game, I think I needed to do stuff. It's a little bit tough. Like, the reason why it's tough is Storm doesn't have Orchid yet. Doom didn't have Doom, and Slark just Slark. Like, Slark doesn't do too much early on. And so, what I could have done here, even though, like, I think sapping mid is, like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm not, like, mad about this play, is I definitely could have, like, synergized the Smoke Gank with Storm to a lane so that Slark can farm all of this. Because if we sit Storm and Slark here, it's likely that they'll get ganked because the enemy team has very heavy gank heroes, right? They have Hoodwink and Puck, very hard level 6 spikes. And so I could have made Storm make a play with me to, like, bottom. For instance, if we caught this Spectre, which, you know, you're going to assume Spectre's farming this portion of the map for the first 11 to 15 minutes into the game. So yeah, we could have made that play, open up this portion of the map for Slark to farm. Instead, he ends up getting ganked. So yeah, definitely something I could have maybe avoided if I was a little bit faster. 100% should have some items in my inventory here, but okay. Next up, I think I was checking for some wards. Turns out they didn't have any. Okay, this is where I wanted to make a play with Storm, I think. Okay, no, I ended up smoking Doom. Doom had a blink, so I think that was fine. I don't love this smoke play, though. I hate smoking to this tier 1, because even if you catch someone here, they can just mass TP in, and it's like, it feels so bad. It's so much more clean, usually, to smoke either up this hill or up this hill, especially this hill, because there's less, it takes, if you smoke into this portion of the map, and you find someone, it's much harder for them to TP, just based on the TP areas. You might be like, oh, but the outpost, yeah, but that takes 6 seconds, which is easily the difference between getting out or not. Easily the difference. I think I wanted to smoke again here. I wanted to get the Storm. I think Storm had Orchid soon, so I wanted to make a play. I don't mind us just farming, though. Like, I think people don't realize it's okay. I ended up getting ganked here. I actually juked the shit out of this gank. I juked the Bushwag. Like, I thought this fight was gonna go well. Turns out it was just I just got picked off, but that's all right. I think that was fine. I like tanked the gank. Okay, so here, this was a good play. I think this was my best play of the game up until now. Other than my solid laning, which had a bit of gaps, a few mistakes, this was good. I identified that Storm had Orchid, and this is like a key thing in Dota, you know? Think about your teammates' spikes. And on top of that, I want to get my team off the top side of the map because it's very hard to make plays into this tier 1. I talked about that a second ago. It's just like we have no vision here. I want to smoke. I want to get down these wards, get down some sentries, and I want to make a play with my Storm Orchid. And so, yeah, I think I ended up smoking him in a second here. I wait for him to push at the mid wave, pop a smoke, and I want to get us down onto the bottom side. Unfortunately, we bumped into Pudge, which kind of sucked, but yeah, funny enough, that ended up turning into a puck kill, so good play by the Doom. And yeah, that's the thing, a little bit of a smoke, a little bit of synergy, good play by Doom, and I can also try to get up some deep wards. I ended up warding this hill, which I think I shouldn't have, because like, they're going to assume if I walked into this area, we have a ward. This one ended up staying up, though, to be fair. So this ward ended up working out quite well. After that, I go farm bottom, which I think is okay. Because like after I make this play with Storm, I think I just kind of want to push in a side lane and farm. But at the same time, I'm supposed to just be working with Storm in this game. Yeah, here the D ward, easy deny. I take the large camp. The only play I'm thinking is like I could try to make a play with Storm right now. But like right at this point in the game, we were very happy with what was happening. Like I think a lot of the time players have this horrible tendency to think like if they're not constantly killing people, that they're just playing the game bad. And right at this point in the game, it's like, I don't know, Slark's flash farming, we're 9k ahead now because of like a couple track kills. We just killed we just killed the Puck. Spectre's not a fast farmer. Snapfire has nowhere to farm. I mean, look at the map, right guys? Look at the map. We get to farm this, right? They get to farm this, which isn't horrible, but it's a slight advantage for sure. And Slark is having like a very easy and free game. He's just controlling the top side of the map. Doom's farming up the bottom. I'm even cutting bottom wave, so I'm getting farmed as well. So I feel like the farm distribution for my team right now is very good. And I actually like my positioning here. I know I said in this video I'm going to try to flame myself, but I like my positioning here, and the reason for that is like, you might be like, oh, but you're on the front line of CM. Yes, but like my team's not looking to take a fight right now, right? Even though Storm and Bounty could get to a fight if I get jumped, that's the thing, then I'm technically just baiting. And I don't mind baiting as CM. Like I went max E this game, which is a bit risky, but like I just felt like I have a Slark and I have a Storm. I'm just gonna max E and let them farm. Like I even didn't take ulti, and that's because I felt like it would be hard to use it, but I probably could have taken a casual point in ulti instead of like an extra point in Frostbite. I will say that this is a bit of a questionable build. This was so shit. I remember this. I think this was my doom, just like making a bad play. I don't think my team should ever shift to the top side of the map anymore, unless like we have a very clear idea that someone's alone, but like we know they're probably all top, right? The enemy team is getting a little bit desperate. I think we just thought they could fight, but unfortunately we got kind of a shit jump here, and then I completed my TP anyway. And yeah, I just died. I got Snapfire ultied, so it's not, you know, it is what it is, but yeah, pretty stupid. You should always encourage your team not to fight into the enemy team's vision. We almost gave them a gap back into this game with that. You know, we gave them probably like 1,000, almost 2,000 net worth off that play. So just be really careful about making those type of rotations where you're going into the enemy team's vision, into their team fight. It's almost always bad. Instead, what we should have done is we should have played for their mid-tier one. Right? We actually don't have a mid-tier one, which is not good. We should be taking their mid-tier one there while they are set up top. But yeah, I wanted to make another play, so I think I smoked, want to get down some deep vision. My team got a kill top, well played to them. After that, I scout out this Pudge. And I think I just wanted to make plays here. Once again, I don't mind frontlining. This might seem questionable, like why are you frontlining? I'm playing CM. Like, yes, you can kite around the edges of the fight, and that can be good if you're gonna get bursted, right? Like, if you're gonna get like insta-killed by an Ursa, then it's not worth it to frontline. Does that make sense, guys? Like in Dota, a big part about frontlining that almost no one understands is that it depends on how long it takes you to get killed. And if your team can follow it up when you die. Does that make sense? So here, I know based on the enemy heroes, yes, they can burst me if they know exactly where I am. But if I can start the fight and make the enemy team uncoordinated, like I can kind of like pick them apart here like this, it's good. Like I don't care at all about getting dismembered or tanking a dagger or even tanking a potential hoodwink ulti, even though I didn't get hit by it. So yeah, I didn't mind getting tanked and basically making the enemy team panic and split up. So I thought this was really good. I thought my positioning in that fight and spellcasting was solid, even though that ward, fucking hell. I take this really good fight, and I remember this in game. I was so pissed. I'm like, oh my god. I got scouted by this cart, and then I warded anyway. I didn't realize at the time, but I was like, oh my god, GG. GG. I love putting down that ward, but man, rough. Okay, after that, I was continuing to just like want to debate. I ultied a mid wave. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's all right. All right, next part of the game, I was looking to get down some deep vision here. This ward is risky, but my team wanted to play for Roshan, so I wanted to put it down. So I go for this deep ward. You see how it lets my team kind of push up on the map? They understand, okay, CM puts down this deep ward, we can get out on the map here and play this area. So I think this ward is actually good. I ended up getting a nice D ward onto their hill. And so I think my warding and D warding here was actually quite good. Good positioning as well. I was very patient to push up with my team here. Kind of waited for them to be around before I even went for those plays. But I get up another deep ward. Really, I was doubling down on securing Roshan here. My team didn't want to Rosh for whatever reason. I assume it's because they think we just can't. But I think the reason we'd Rosh here is just to force a fight from the enemy team. Okay, next up, I think I misplayed a little bit here. I'll talk about everything that went down in my head. Basically, I Q the puck here because I thought he was going to go out of vision. And I thought I'd catch him anyway, but I was a bit slow. What I wanted to do and what I needed to do was just force staff Frostbite. Because he had a Lincoln's right here, and I knew that. So I'm like, okay, I need to force staff nuke him. But he got out of vision briefly, and that made me get out of range of Frostbite and fucked up the kill. All I had to do was pop his Lincolns really for the Storm Market, more importantly. So yeah, I think I should have glimmered on top of him and just provided vision for Storm. That's actually true. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, what I should have done here is I should have just glimmered and kept vision, like waited as long as possible, and then when Storm's in range, then I Q force staff and pop for the Orchid. All right, getting into some of our last fights into the game. My team gets jumped here. I kite out, which is good. I was a little bit out of position there, to be honest. I had to use my force staff defensively. Anytime you have to force staff defensively on a support, and it's like not because you're getting jumped by a storm or something like crazy like that. If you have to like force staff because you might get caught by like a bushwhack, some spell like that, you're probably just out of position, you know what I mean? Because generally you do not want to be that close. But I end up going in here, Pop the Lincolns on the Spectre, put down a Sentry. It's fine. Q again. At this point, I don't mind extending. I don't know why I didn't Frostbite here. I should have Frostbited before ulting. Frostbite's actually just straight up more valuable than your ulti most of the time on CM. You know, the control is just a bigger deal unless your ulti's gonna hit like multiple targets for like a long period of time, but that's unlikely. Nonetheless, yeah, I think this was honestly a pretty well played game on my part. I feel like I did a pretty good job of warding and getting down vision. I could have been a little bit faster on stacking my pole camp, pulling in general. My positioning a little bit early on could have been fixed. You know, with the level 1, level 2 is Slark, I could have been further up with him occasionally. And I could have smoked a bit earlier with Storm, I think, when he got ganked. I could have read that movement. Like, the enemy team kind of needs to make a play with Puck 6 and Hoodwink 6, and I think I could read that in the future and either get the Storm out onto the map to help keep the Slark farming more, and just to help keep the Storm alive, and so I could get down some deep wards. Because it's a bit weird to like solo smoke for wards early game, because a lot of the time you're just gonna bump into someone because of how split up people are. So yeah. Nonetheless, thanks guys for watching. I had a lot of fun doing that. If you want me to do what I just did for like a different role, let me know in the comments. I think that was actually probably more educational than almost any other video that I've made, because I just like constantly talking about my ideas and thoughts, and hopefully that helps you guys get into the mind of a high MMR player. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace. And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.